Do you think that doing a rap record from prison is glamorizing being in prison?
No, it's not glamorizing being in prison. It's giving them the real deal.
Gotta get paid, cause life's too short. I'm not a prankster. I'm a nigga for some gangsta. You step in the cell and I shake. You take your kicks and say thank you. Yeah.
You can't fool me. I'm a guy in prison. You motherfuckers got a shot. Use it.
This ain't no joke. We're doing 25 to life, 35 to life. We're babies, man. Blacks and Hispanics represent the majority in every motherfucking prison you go to. At least 90%.
I remember I'm 19 years old in prison for the first time.
Yeah.
A lot of people knew of me and knew me as a little young kid, but going in there, you know, you have to stand up, you have to protect yourself. So you was gonna have people that try you. So I got into fights and different things like that. And you know, it's something that I had to do.
Guys are raped, guys are extorted. You never know when you have to defend yourself.
These are matchsticks, all glued together. And it looks very innocent, very spiritual in me. Very spiritual guy. Read the Bible all the time, but he had this hanging on his wall. This thing was used in one of the wings to pluck somebody's eye out over a pack of cigarettes.
You ever heard the term be kill or be killed?
Sure.
Well, literally, you know, I had to get by. So like I said, I got in a couple, went to segregation and different things. And after that, you know, I got in confrontations with the officers, verbal confrontations, threatening them because I had a problem with how they talked to me. I wasn't used to nobody talking to me like that. You know.
How long were you in SEG?
I stayed, the longest I ever stayed in SEG was a year, but I'd been in SEG like 3 times, getting into confrontations with fellow prisoners. You know, it wasn't really no such thing. I believed in fair fights and things because of just my upbringing and me as a person. I didn't believe in really hurting nobody, but I got in a confrontation with a guy one day, and he said, come on, let's get this fair one. And you have this food chute where you slide food off a truck and slide it down. We were supposed to meet in the basement of the kitchen. When I get to slide down that chute and get to the basement, he's holding an on pipe right there. He could have took my life right there. The only reason he didn't take my life, because some of the other guys that knew me and was like, no, you're gonna give him a fair one. But when I got to the bottom, that's how ignorant I was to prison and about prison life. I just got there, you know, fair fight.
Yeah.
Guy could have took my life as soon as if it wasn't for the other prisoners, I might have been dead right now. So, you know, that's one thing that I got over, and then I started to come around, starting to mature and think a little, you know, differently, and, you know, wanted to get out of there. So I sat in SEG a lot of times, and I don't know if you would even believe me. I'm going to tell you something. A lot of people don't believe this. You familiar with Ebony magazine, Jet magazine? In the back of there used to be advertisements. And he used to say, submit your songs or things for evaluations and things, and we'll do evaluation. Well, Madonna's first hit was written by me, Burning Up for Your Love, that I submitted to a publishing company while in segregation, writing and trying to see this is the avenue I wanted to go. Do I have any proof of that? No, but I'm just trying to show you one of the things that I do, and I started to learn a little about music, became interested in music. I mean, I happened to hear it on the radio, and I was like, that's familiar to me. Man, that's mine.
How long after was that?
After submitting probably about a year or something, and I'm hearing it, I'm like, where do I know this from? And then I'm realizing, yo, you wrote that. I didn't even say nothing to nobody. Nobody gonna believe it. Burning up for your love, bending over backwards, please. Burning up. You don't remember that song by Madonna? Well, we'll hit it up after this. I'll show you.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So you were in New Jersey State Prison.
Yeah.
Until when were you
From
there?
like 1980 to 1987, New Year's night, there was a big incident in Rahway State Prison. And I had become on the list when you submit your classification, well, I want to be transferred or whatever. I was on a waiting list. I think I was number 20 something. And it just so happened, my luck, there was a it was a small ride or something Rahway State Prison, and they had to ship out about 30 prisoners.
Okay.
Where were they going to ship 30? To Trenton, New Jersey State. So during the course of they bring in 30, you got to get rid of 30.
Right.
So that's how I ended up faster in Rahway State Prison.
On New Year's Day?
On New Year's Eve.
But what was the day you actually left?
That night.
That night.
That night. When they came that night, pack it up at 12 o'clock at night. You think, pack it up for what? You know, we didn't know where we was going like that. Then, all right, you got it in a transfer. Oh, all right, y'all going to Rahway. I was cool with that because I was on the list.
Yeah.
But it was just strange when they first came pack it up 12 o'clock at night. Like, what did I do? Because when you normally, they bust your door at that time of night, it's, what did I do? Or something, you know? There's no other reason for your door to crack at that time.
They call me 205-802.
What can happen to me, it can happen to you. You know, life don't stop when you come behind these 30-foot walls. It's about telling the children the truth.
Raise the conscious level.
Here's all the facts.
So I transferred over there, Rahway State Prison, got there, and it was a whole different atmosphere there.
How so?
How so? Very much different. You had a lot of activities going on, activities you can be involved with as far as the shops, educational wise, they had more.
Was that why you wanted to go there? Did you heard about that?
I heard that they had a lot of, that's one of my main reasons, educationally wise and different things, that it had more to offer me too. And so, you know, I got there, and while being there, I became familiar with the Scared Straight program, the Lifers program. So
So Scared Straight was run by lifers?
Yes. The program wasn't actually Scared Straight. The program was the Lifers group. Scared Straight is just a name that Hollywood gave it.
This program contains explicit and coarse street language. It's not intended for children's viewing. Parental guidance is advised. These teenagers are going to prison. Their sentence will be short, only 3 hours. But during that time, these juvenile offenders will come into direct confrontation with these hardened criminals. They call themselves the Lifers. Together, they're serving nearly 1,000 years. But the Lifers are through taking lives. They're now saving them.
Because, see, I know you want your stuff. How did you feel when I took your stuff? Did you like it? What about you? How did you feel? Huh? You can't talk? I said, how did you feel? You want to do something about that? No. Why not? Because of what? See, you're thinking right now. But see, when you be out there running up in somebody's goddamn house, you don't be thinking.
1976, our juvenile awareness program came about.
Many people know it by Scared Straight, which was a program film that we did.
This ain't your world. This is a sucker's world. We were suckers. We got picked. We got played.
Been in that prison 33 years. 33 years! I still stand there, stick itself, and say, why me? Why me?
And I'm 19 years old. And I just turned 19 motherfucking years old. And they stepped in this motherfucker when I was 15. And so you motherfuckers thinking like I thought, like, yeah, they ain't gonna send me to prison. Because I'm only 15 motherfucking years old. And I ain't killed no motherfucking fire. Ain't done it, man. Those motherfuckers got tired of me. They don't give a fuck about us, man. They don't give a fuck about us at all. But you ain't gotta look at a motherfucker that's 20 years older than you. You can see me.
You know, I became involved with that. I had to submit a request to them. They had to do a screening process amongst their members to see, for example, if this guy is a sex offender or what. Because number one, you came in contact with kids and different things, outside people. They ain't gonna have a serial raper up there working with kids and things. So they had to do a screening process and they had to make a decision. They brought me in. I became involved. It was actually called the Juvenile Awareness Program. We used to just bring, you know, do presentations to the kids, show them firsthand, try to show them firsthand experience what prison life was about, how we got there, why we were there, how it was there.
The Lifers Group is an organization that is to stimulate the minds and awareness of young people.
Project is to get these kids that come in from detention centers, group homes. We're the perfect example of what not to be.
We try to meet some of the challenges that society, for whatever reason, hasn't been meeting for the young people, so they don't wind up in situations like this.
I tell them to remember me. I want them to dream about me, because if you come here, it's not going to be like the movies. It's not going to be like television, because this is the real deal.
And then I became a part of different committees, fundraising committees, different aspects of the Lifers Group, and I became one of the #1 fundraiser guys from the Lifers Group. And you know, we had an office we operated out of, and I used to reach out to different companies and corporate people for money to fund the program, because the state didn't provide us with any money. It was self-supported.
These men are all members of the Lifers Group, an organization inside the prison comprised of 54 men, serving time from 25 years to life. They have a message for juvenile offenders who view prison as one big party.
So how did you end up getting into Lifers Group to hip-hop ensemble?
Well, you know, after a while, you know, I somewhat think, you know, it was playing out, the message had stopped getting out there somewhat, reaching a mass. And I came up with the concept, you know, music was out. Music, you know, a lot of kids was listening to hip-hop and stuff.
I was trying to do a fundraiser. I was trying to raise some money for the group, and I had contacted Red Alert Productions. David Klein, Funkel Klein, was with them at the time. He stressed to me that he was going out with Hollywood Basics. He was going to be the rap director. So I basically asked him, I told him I had some brothers in here who can rap, and you know, I went to all the brothers and I asked them if they could define to me what everyday prison life is for.
And I'm used to hearing all these guys talk about what prison was, different artists, whether it was NWA.
The Lifers feel some of today's rappers speak of prison as if it were a minor inconvenience in their gangster lifestyle.
But you do have groups out there like NWA, you know. You have several other artists out there, and you know, they're telling kids about putting a 9 in somebody, but they're not telling those kids about the consequences that you're going to end up, you're spending the rest of your life in prison, or you're going to end up dead. The concept came up with the Juvenile Awareness Program, bringing juveniles in to see the realities of prison life. Our message has always been the same for the last 18 years.
To learn the truth at the expense of our sorrow.
You think you're going to get famous from doing this rap song?
I have no idea. I'm not trying to get famous. I'm trying to bring out a message.
What inspired me to come in here was that I would be leaving a message among the youth in society, a positive message to stay out of jails and using drugs and staying away from negativity.
Hey, you live that gangster lifestyle, but it only lasts for a short period of time. You know, the kids want to nod their head to. This is how you're going to captivate. This is how you're going to get their attention. You know, once you get their attention, they think it's about rap. And that's when we drop a bomb on them. You know, this is not about hip-hop. No, this is what it's about. It's about you bringing your ass in here. It's about getting your act together. That's what it's about.
Gangster rap was becoming big then, right? And I didn't think the kids was getting a fair shot. There was another side of the story that needed to be told, because some of the things they was describing wasn't what prison life was about. None of them had, in fact, been there. So who could better tell them than myself? I'm in prison, I'm living it firsthand experience. I'm not going off of what nobody told me or said to me. I'm going off of what I'm living every day.
Yeah.
And they had to put this glamorized prison life and this rough imagery stuff, and I wanted to de-glamorize that. And so at the time, that music was major and big, and I thought to myself, man, that would be the perfect medium. Since they're listening to these rappers, going out and living these and dressing these certain codes, I might be able to get something across to some of them and wake them up before they end up in there like I did or follow my footpath.
You find that a lot of kids are listening to rap music in this day and time.
So during the course of that, I had a friend by the name of Dave Funkelklein. He was with Red Alert Productions at the time. And I wanted to do some different fundraisers and some awareness to the kids. And, you know, I reached out to Dave, and then we came up with the concept. He was going out to the Walt Disney Company. And he was becoming the head of Hollywood Records, which is owned by the Walt Disney Company. And told him, yo, I know some guys, man. We might be able to take this program. I might be able to spread my message. With him being in a position, the president of the record label.
I was contacted by one of the inmates inside the prison who's part of this group called the Lifers Group.
And I told him I had a message that I want to give to the youth out there, and do he think he could help me and assist me and come in and work with me?
We decided to do a talent search inside the prison, see if there was enough talent to do a record.
We had to go to Michael Eisner, the president of the Walt Disney Company, and tell him, look, I'm not just doing a record. This is a particular project I want to do in order for them to put the money up for this. So they came out to meet me. They flew out to meet me, the president, the other president of Hollywood Records. Then you had Hollywood Basics, subsidiary. Michael Weiss and them, they came out to meet me. We had a meeting and everything, discussed what I wanted to do. And we start communicating back and forth. And when I was looking for some of the talent and different guys in the prison, I knew what I wanted to do in the message. Some of them wanted to become a part of it, but they had a different idea of just, I'm getting on a record. No, it's not that type of record or type of music. This is what I'm looking for. You know, if you can't give me that, you can't be a part of this. This is what I'm looking for, so.
It wasn't hard finding the talent. It wasn't a matter of talent. I just went to a small group of gentlemen that was in the prison, kids that were into rap music, such as myself. I was into rap music. And I went to them, I asked them if they can define what everyday prison life was for them in here.
We've done all these unique projects with the Lifers over the years, the films, the documentaries, and now this. The talent agenda was really Maxwell's. So he went around the prison and he tried to find guys that could sing rap and that style of music.
I started doing some auditioning. The guys asking them, I'd like for you to define for me what prison life is to you, or a message. If you was to tell somebody something out there that could prevent them from following in your footsteps, put that in a lyrical form for me, because I'm doing a record. A lot of them was like, yeah, right. It was a laugh to them. Even to some of the staff and administration, yeah, right, it's gonna happen. Then they start seeing these letters coming in from Walt Disney Company on their stationery, everything. They start seeing big shots come in and everything. Then it was serious. You had everybody like running after Maxwell, Maxwell. They seen that it was becoming a reality.
Yeah.
And the more that they seen, the more that everybody was fighting and striving to be a part of it, but everybody couldn't be a part of it. You know?
We are the Lifers Group. Learn the truth at the expense of our sorrows. And don't end up in the belly of the beast.
My wish would be for the Lifers Group to be able to go outside these walls right here and to get into these communities, and to be able to go inside these schools where we would be much more effective if we had to go in handcuffs and shackles and say, look, you know, this is what it's about. You know, that's what I would love. That would be my number one.